this is a story about fatherhood as well. It's about the absent father, about Hamlet not knowing what does it mean to be a man? He doesn't have a template present in his life to work it out. Do you turn the other cheek? Do you fight back? That's what to be or not to be is about, And it's interesting because, we're doing this play, it's about fathers and fatherhood and what is it to be a man, and both of us have just become fathers. And so in a way, it was like the play was confronting us in real life with like what that means. You can see that energy, it's on the screen, it's in the way we were shooting. It was fast, it was rough, it had a kind of like broken down energy to it, it was rough around the edges. It brought something.
Riz, did you ever have the same experience when you were younger of like, I'm not sure if Shakespeare is for me, or was Shakespeare always for you?
I kind of thought that it was something quite stuffy and old school and establishment, but there's something really raw and energetic about these texts. And I was lucky that I had a school teacher who gave me the play when I needed it most. I was a teenager going through a kind of rough time emotionally, and he showed me this play, and I met this character, Hamlet, and it was so therapeutic for me. The way I was feeling in that moment had been described with such beauty. What I mean by that is I felt like, man, the world is a really unfair place. And the world is so messed up. Am I going crazy or is the world going crazy? And that's how Hamlet feels, really. I think that's how a lot of us are feeling right now.
I think that's the interesting thing. I don't think that the text itself is establishment or stuffy or pompous. I think it's our conditioning of it through, the treatment of it. And the fact that, sadly, cultural kind of institutions like theatre have this kind of elite feel, which actually was not the case in Shakespeare's time, right?
No, yeah.
The Globe was like full of just such a breadth of humanity, right? Yeah, it was nuts.
Saw in the final scenes of
sure,
Hamlet.
yeah.
It's like,
don't ruin it for me. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I
I've not
but
seen it.
I didn't even realize everyone just stood around.
Yeah, of course.
And you could touch
it was like more of a mosh
stage.
pit. It was
Yeah,
more like
yeah,
going,
yeah.
Yes, it looked like a
more like
mosh
going
pit.
to a gig, And so it has that kind of democratic kind of energy to it, There's poetry and there's kind of really like, there's dirty jokes. There's a mixture of all of these things in Shakespeare because there's a mixture of all of those things in us. And so it's very human, these plays, and Aneil really kind of was adamant to bring that out with a lot of key decisions he made.
Was this, percentage-wise, the most night shoots you guys have ever done on a project, or?
I mean, there was
most exhausted, I think I've ever been.
A lot of these events were taking place overnight. It also felt fitting for the kind of dark and lean and febrile energy that we wanted to bring to the adaptation. Time just like became this fluid kind of non-entity.
Just became this puddle of like
exactly,
vulnerability and like exhaustion.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is that a story comes into being at the time when it's most needed, when the storyteller's most need it, when the audience is most need it. And I think there's no coincidence there's been a lot of kind of Hamlet stuff in the air right now. We were at Telluride Film Festival and Oscar Isaac has a documentary what his wife Elvira has made about him playing Hamlet on Broadway. You've got Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, Chloe Zhao doing Hamnet. Tom York from Radiohead has his own interpretive dance adaptation of Hamlet playing in the UK right now. We have our offering. So it feels like there's something in the culture right now, in the collective unconscious, that needs this story. So as much as I wanted to be made 10 years ago, I think this is the moment where we all need to look at this story and look at what it's trying to present to us. And it's my hope that either through our production or someone else's, by hook or by crook, people hear the message of this play, because William Shakespeare I think he was onto something.
We're only ever with Hamlet, really. So we're experiencing everything with him live, and hopefully that brings a kind of presence and immediacy to the story, which perhaps, we're not entirely used to seeing.
What is the most extreme or intense place you've made something?
It's interesting thinking about that. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but there's this huge wedding venue.
We call that like a business park.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was what was interesting, because it's so unromantic and so brutal, and yet kind of just incredible and striking. And we spent a long time there, and it was kind of a fascinating place, but because of the setting, because of this ring road, it had an intensity that you can't really get any kind of peace there. Even if you go outside to get some air, it's like, like all these lorries rushing past you. It's quite a mad place, isn't it? And also we were shooting such mad material in there.
Most intense place I filmed was a film called Centurion. I did with Michael Fassbender, and where we're basically Romans who are behind enemy lines in Scotland. And what that meant is we were just halfway up a frozen mountain in Scotland, covered in snow, knee-deep in snow, wearing those like Roman leather skirts. And because we were wearing period Roman stuff, like they didn't have socks, they didn't have boots, so we're just like in sand, just dying, man. Just so intense, so cold. We did a couple of takes of that and we were like...
But it probably puts you right in the correct headspace. You don't have to
That's what the
use your
director was saying.
imagination.
He was speaking to the director.
That's director chat, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all right, use it. Use the pain.